Hey, what's up guys? StarringShane here with a brand new video, and today I'm going to be talking about reportedly the most haunted locations in the world. Are you freaked out yet? Oh shit! So guys, I'm going to be talking about 5 different locations. Some locations I've been to, other locations I haven't been to, that are really scary as hell. So if you don't like these type of videos, you may want to click out of it now, because there's going to be some spooky stories that might not make you want to sleep tonight. The very first place that I'm going to be talking about is Bobby Mackeys Music World in Wilder, Kentucky. Now, I've actually been to this place, and I will tell you right now that it is very spooky. And there is a lot of things that go on there, whether paranormal or not. Some people don't know for sure, but this place will give you the heebie-jeebies. When you first walk into the place, there's a sign that is basically a warning stating that we are not responsible for you getting pushed or scratched or anything like that. Now, the history around this place is amazing. It was a slaughterhouse at one point. It was a Latin quarter at one point. There's been history of murders and suicides and all of that at this location. Now, it has been deemed the most haunted nightclub in America. Now, you would just have to decide for yourself if that's the case. Now, the folklore behind all of this, the story behind all of it, is an interesting one. Bobby Mackey claims that the site was used as a slaughterhouse in the 19th century. It was later torn down for construction of a roadhouse. That is, until he purchased it in 1978. There's different legends that are associated with this place, and like I said before, the only way that you're going to know for sure is you visit the place yourself. These are stories. Some of them cannot be validated, so this is something that you will have to go and experience, something that you will have to do your research on yourself to find out if it's true or not. The major story about Bobby Mackeys is the reported gateway to hell. It's basically a well that's in the basement. It was uncovered by the caregiver of the property at the time, Carl Lawson. Now, that caregiver also went on to report that he was demonically possessed because of opening this well. There's actual video that you can go and look up on YouTube, shows him being allegedly exorcised of those demons. Even after that initial event, he stated that he had never been the same since then. Now, unfortunately, Lawson has passed away, but he stated that he believed that there were so many spirits around that place, around Bobby Mackeys, that it was unreal. He said some of these spirits were the spirit of Pearl Bryan. Pearl Bryan's corpse was found 2.5 miles away from Bobby Mackeys. Her body was found in Fort Thomas, Kentucky. Other legends claim that Pearl Bryan's murderers were Satanists who cursed the location and said that they would come back and haunt the location and everyone in it. Does that still make you want to go? It's really cool, I promise you. And I guarantee you, the more you dig into Bobby Mackeys Music World, the more you are going to find and the more questions you're going to have. Now, if you've never been to Bobby Mackeys, it's an experience of a lifetime. Whenever I went there with a group of people, and we actually did a paranormal investigation of the place. And it was very interesting. It was quite cool to hear the stories, to feel the energy of the location. It was an experience that I tell you I will never forget. The number 2 location is Rolling Hills Asylum in East Bethany, New York. Now, before being known as Rolling Hills Asylum, the property was originally named the Old Country Home. It was basically a poorhouse that housed orphan children, other families, destitute elderly, the unstable, the morally corrupt, and even criminals. It was a government-run facility, and there were a lot of issues with it, and there's a lot of stories that come out of it. Now, you can go to rollinghillsasylum.com and you can check out the history of this location. I've never been to this place, but I've heard many stories of a lot of unexplained phenomenon happen, paranormal activity that happens at this location. There have been claims of phantom voices being heard, EVP being captured, which is electronic voice phenomenon. Again, you can look that up and we'll go into that a little deeper in another video possibly. People being pushed, touched, scratched, all of these things that happens at Rolling Hills Asylum. If you visit this place, more than likely it's going to happen to you. Something of that nature is going to happen to you. Now, whether it's paranormal in nature or not, is still worth checking out. The third place is Old South Pittsburgh Hospital in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. Now this is a place that I've also been at, and I will tell you, this is one of the few times that I've been to a place where it feels like when I'm walking down the hall, there are tons of people around me, but there's nobody there. I'm the only one there. I'm walking down the hall and it feels crowded. It feels like I'm in the midst of a huge crowd, but nobody's there but me. There's been claims of wrongful death, child abuse deaths. There's lawsuits that have circulated this place. Many tragic deaths due to illnesses have occurred here. In the 1920s, there was a large plantation that was on the site, on the property. Unfortunately, there was a large fire and the whole plantation burned down. And unfortunately, 7 children lost their lives. Now, the site was also used to take care of soldiers when the Civil War was going on. Now the reason that this place is reportedly haunted is a lot of people believe that the events of the past, you know, the deaths that occurred on the site, the fire that happened, all link to why this place is haunted and why possibly spirits are there or ghosts are there haunting the place because of everything that went on. There were many employees of the hospital that had stories whenever the hospital was in full operation that of things they could not explain. Being touched, hearing voices whenever they were the only ones there, being scratched. Again, there's a lot of stories involving this. I encourage you to go and look up Old South Pittsburgh Hospital on Facebook. You can go to their website there. You can find out more information. They also do public tours along with Bobby Mackeys. That you can do public tours, you can do investigations if you're into the paranormal and you like doing that sort of thing. Go check it out. I encourage you to do so. Rolling Hills Asylum also has the same thing. Go check them out on their website. Number 4 is one that you possibly haven't even heard of, and it's the King Opera House in Van Buren, Arkansas. I've never been here, but have read up on the history of this location. Something that is really spooky, really, you want to check it out. I promise you. It's a historic live performance venue in Van Buren, Arkansas, and it's reportedly haunted by a young Victorian man who was whipped to death by the father of his lover when they attempted to elope. Now again, why people are saying this is haunted, I don't know. Something you're gonna have to go check out for yourself. And last but not least, the location I want to talk about is in Egypt, and you guessed it, it's the pyramids. A man in early 20th century clothing has reportedly been seen by visitors, and he's rumored to be the ghost of Howard Carter. Various employees and tourists have reported seeing unexplained lights and different other phenomena. They've also reported seeing an apparition of an Egyptian pharaoh. Now, whether this is true or not, this is a really cool story. Howard Carter, if you didn't know, is an English archaeologist and an Egyptologist. He became world famous after discovering the intact tomb of the 18th dynasty pharaoh, King Tut. He made this discovery in 1922. So reportedly people are seeing his ghost, which is really interesting, and it would kind of make sense if you're attached to a location, your greatest find in the history of your life was at this location, you died. It would make sense for you to be attached to this place, which I really think is cool. And whether you believe in paranormal things, anything like that, or any places being haunted, the places that I listed are places that you definitely want to check out. Even if you don't believe in the supernatural part of it, just the stories that are associated with it, the people that have been there, the people that say that they've had experiences there, it's worth checking out. Listening to them. They could be delusional or they could be telling the truth, but you'll never know unless you actually talk to them, unless you actually go and you experience these things for yourself. Even if you're a skeptic, you're an atheist, you don't believe in anything, any of that, go check these places out. You only live once and it's worth a shot. Who knows, you may be pleasantly surprised or you may be scared shitless. But anyway guys, if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you did not like this video, hit the dislike button, because I want to hear your viewpoints, whether you agree or not. On this channel, as I always say, I'm always going to be real, I'm always going to be Starring Shane, and until the next video, peace.